In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Welcome, everybody, to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1251. We're back again for another Thursday show. We got Billy the Fridge back again. We're going to do it live. It's going to be amazing. Make sure you check us out on all the audio podcast platforms out there, because we do a pre-show before every episode. The one that's up there right now, if you go there, is the pre-show with Riley and Mint Salad. It was a little longer than some of our other pre-shows, so you want to check that out. Check out the pre-show. Any audio podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, any of them. I also have one link down in the description under last night's pre-show if you want to check that out. Also, everyone like the stream. Right now, everyone give the stream a like. Give it a like right now. And we're going to address the big news in just a moment here. I'm just going to put the
Mama
thumbnail.
JF is missing.
Yes. I
don't want to fill this podcast with baseless speculation.
That's all you do.
So we'll just do one baseless speculation to start it off. She's dead. JF killed her. That's an opinion. I have no evidence to that, but my opinions are often 100% fact.
Okay. Everyone like the stream. Also, there's a tip goal. If you want to start a tip train, we will not complain. Please click that and send us a couple donos. And we are going to get into the first part of the show. Here we go.
I should turn off that goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
JF!
Oh, that's where she's been hiding this whole time, in that creepy insane asylum with all of those Von Helton and Jesse Lee
She's
Peterson.
locked up with the other crazies.
Yeah.
Dead from the neck up, and that's not just my opinion, but
Oh shit, Justin knows.
So
Justin knows something we don't know.
What we do know is that she's been missing for over 3 months, but it was only just reported a few days ago. And we'll get everyone. Well, first of all, it's at the federal level in Canada. The Mounties are onto it now. That's like the FBI of Canada. So they're
the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Yes. So before we get into all the details of the disappearance and everything, we're gonna take a little run down memory lane for those of you who aren't familiar with Mama JF and JF. We're gonna check out a little bit of their stuff here. So, for those of you who aren't familiar,
it's so hard.
It's
Say
not perfect,
goodbye.
but you are recognizing the proper note. So
they did a stream where he played keyboard and she attempted to play the violin.
and now he's gone, I don't know why. Until this day sometimes I cry. He didn't even say goodbye. He didn't even take the time to lie.
Oh no.
This is beautiful. Look at him getting into it too.
This is a terrible song choice for someone who just killed the woman behind him.
Bang, bang. He shot me down. Bang, bang. I hit the ground. Bang, bang. That awful sound. Bang, bang. My baby shut me down.
Oh, this is sick. He's sick and twisted.
Someone said he's off key? No. Or well, they said he's of key. Oh, okay. Yes.
He's OnlyFans key.
Look at him. Look at that smile. Look at that dastardly smile.
He's like, you're going to play your own funeral procession song. I'm going to dump you in the woods far away from any Wendy's.
Put this out like this. You've never played that before. You just guess she guesses the notes. She doesn't even read the chords on the screen. As far as I can
She's a
tell,
virtuoso.
She can't even read at the 5th grade level, but she can hear the notes and play the song.
Mama JF.
Yeah. Very good duo.
I'm hiring you.
Okay.
I'm hiring you. I think there's lots of potential. I mean, that you could pull this with a missing string and without training on this song. Yeah. Oh my God.
And also
she might have a missing string, but she makes up for it with an extra chromosome.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Billy.
Because I dropped my violin on the ground. That's why the string...
So did you hear bang bang when it...
Yes, bang bang. I hit the ground, bang bang.
All right, everyone, sleep well.
Sleep well. A little more.
Paris is lovely and Nice sure is nice, and Marseille is charming with champagne on ice. But you stinky Frenchmen haven't a clue. You stinky Frenchmen, frog you.
Frog you.
Whoa.
That being said, it's a cheese that I really love. It is
the French love their stinky
original
cheese.
Orange cheddar. Now people are saying, Jeff, why don't you share with Mama Jeff? Well, do you want some?
No, because we went to his mother's house and after I drank so much this morning and then...
No, I don't want any because last time you fed me a carrot and told me it was cheese. I do not like the trick. This is no more carrot sticks, JF.
You feel like, oh my God. So you see, she doesn't want to eat.
And also, I eat only cheese in 2 days. Only cheese.
In 2 days, she ate nothing but cheese. She was probably constipated like crazy. She died of bowel obstruction.
She's been taking a shit for 4 months in the woods. Obviously. She'll be back tomorrow once it's all done.
Because you did give me so much. Why you give me so much cheese, GF? You're like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is it like a blood for...
No. You cannot accuse celebrities here of rape. This is the public space.
Why? There's so much
No, you cannot defame anyone.
This is what...
Oh, here's the classic clip.
Took place. These are the kinds of people
maybe
they
we
are.
could have
This
done
is
that.
what we have to arrest. Is that Mama JF? I thought I heard something.
He swats her away like an untrained puppy.
Later on, he's like, "You don't come back." Like,
I had to mute Mama Jeff because she was telling some mean things about no white guilt. I apologize. Everyone who's a fan of the show knows that Mama Jeff.
We need to question No White Guilt. Where is she, No White Guilt?
Uncontrollable and irrational hate.
So far, we have 2 suspects: JF Garapi and No White Guilt. Write this down, audience.
I would like to propose Mama JF as a suspect also. I think Mama JF could be a suspect in her own disappearance.
No white guilt, and we don't hate her for it. It's just a brain spark that she has where she construes no white guilt as someone else. All right, Lawrence Forbes says, does Mama JF really have an issue with no white guilt, or is she just fooling around? She has an actual issue.
Damn, I need to.
Don't say anything violent.
No, I want to.
What do you have to say?
No, I get seriously. You tried to kill me, okay?
Okay.
And I'm fucking sick that you're fucking with me.
Definitely
you
have
always
motive.
Follow me everywhere.
She's accusing No White Guilt of trying to kill him.
You want to make spiritual movement, but you fucking tried to kill me for 3 years, okay? You're
Holy
fucking
shit.
psychopath, man.
No White Guilt tried to kill her by her own admission. JF Garrity played the Bang Bang My Baby Shot Me Down song for her. This is, there's two different clues here.
She has some kind of weird, issue where she's like almost like hallucinating. It might be like schizophrenia or something like that, where she believes this person she's never met is someone who abused her in the past. It's a weird thing. I'm
unless
guessing
she's running towards the gaslight of her abusers. We never know.
The answer to the super chat is that Mama JF mistakes No White Guilt for someone who has committed acts of violence against her. So that's why you see her currently sad.
Yeah, there is definitely, like, JF is saying there were acts of violence.
Yeah.
Her.
So I'm guessing they talked about this.
And No White Guilt does look a lot like every other creepy white guy.
I want to point something out to everyone who keeps saying she's like regarded. We're going to go through all of the articles, even the one from the federal Canadian government that's going to talk about her missing. And usually when someone's missing, if someone has some kind of mental disability, even like Alzheimer's or dementia or Down syndrome or anything like that, they would include that so that you know that if you find them, you're dealing with someone with this affliction. And it's not mentioned once. In my opinion, and I've said this since we first encountered Mama JF, I think she's socially awkward. I think she's a little loopy, and she has a strong accent. Maybe even like a speech impediment. I don't think she would be classified. I mean, I think a lot of people are inclined to believe this because JF admitted he was banging some woman that was like regarded. I don't think she is. I think she is weird though and awkward.
When we find her, they'll be able to test the remnants and see if she had some sort of.
Let's hope they
issues.
find. Why do you want to assume she's dead? Like, why does it seems like people are hoping she's dead. It's really weird. They haven't found a body or anything yet. So, like, everyone's talking about her when we find her remains. Wow, man. Okay.
I don't think she's dead, Ben. But right now, she's Schrodinger's ex. Until we open this box, we don't know if she's alive or dead. I have to. She hasn't
even missing long enough to be presumed dead. Like I'm not sure what the exact time frame is, but it might even be like 9 months or something like that. I don't know.
9 months to be presumed dead?
There's missing presumed dead, and I don't know. Let me see.
Meds is in the chat. Says I work for a DD for a disability center, and you'd be surprised how many people show up for services undiagnosed. Yeah, she could be undiagnosed. I think.
Who are we to diagnose her, though?
Well, I'm a doctor.
No, you're not.
I think there's two obvious things here that we have to look at.
7 years. It says 7 years or more to be missing or presumed dead. So you have to be missing without a trace for 7 years.
This is gonna be wild. We got 7 years of content finding Mama JF.
There's not gonna be any unless they find something really quick. There's not gonna be content throughout that whole time, unless there's like a clue somewhere.
We won't give up on Mama JF the same way we never gave up on Mercedes Carrera. And there's two things we know about.
There's
Mama
nothing
JF.
going on with Mercedes Carrera. She's in jail, and then every few months her trial gets postponed for another 3 months, and then it happens again. So yeah, I have kind of given up on it until something actually happens.
Well, yeah, we still check in all the time. We need to know the answers here. We won't give up on the luscious ladies of DP. And Mama JF 100% seems to be very slow. She seems to have issues that we have seen even in this clip. But two, we can't forget this, guys. She's French Canadian, and that could be why we think she's so developmentally disabled.
Okay, so MedsPed says something about odd thing to do after a breakup, buying a fridge. Well, isn't another odd thing to do after a breakup to be expected to call the police when the person you just broke up with just left? Like, when you break up with someone and they leave, are you expected to call the cops and report them missing after they left? Are you you argue with everything. Okay, what is it? What is it now?
The thing that threw me off about the new fridge is that he went and he buried the old fridge out in the woods where nobody can find it. That was the thing that tripped me up. I was like, why are you going to bury your old fridge?
Yeah. Why did he bury it?
Mama JF has been the victim of an act of violence. It was not by no white guilt at all. She is confused, and because she is confused, she associates no white guilt.
No, he didn't actually bury a fridge.
With
no white guilt has a look on his face where he's
is Mama
enjoying
JF
this.
okay? Yes, she is doing good. I don't know if she wants to come to say hi, but she is doing good. So no worries for Mama JF.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, I just want to say, no, I will never accept your apologies, okay? What you did to me was so mean. And this guy is not a real person. He's doing shape-shifting. And he's a ghost. Don't believe him. He's not a real person.
Okay.
Yes, bro. Where is she, JF? We will find her. 4chan and On Group will find her. The internet will seek the truth. Pepe will seek truth.
Pepe will seek the truth.
Did she say
It's
he's
weird.
not? Did she say he's not a real person? Because that's what that crazy lady on that airplane said months
you think
ago.
no white guilt was on that airplane?
No.
And he wants to kill me.
Okay. So no white guilt is a ghost, according to Mama JF. I will say, as a journalist, I have a duty here not to allow defamation. And I will say that the theory that no white guilt is a
I wonder who he's drinking
shifting
there.
ghost is
it Coca-Cola?
Unsupported.
It looks like it's a cola. Maybe he has.
It might be red
something
wine
extra in it.
Because it kind of looks
very cola looking.
It kind of looks like my drink, right?
Are you drinking cola?
No, I'm drinking red wine.
Huh.
In a glass mug with a handle on it that has a screw top on it. I actually have a glass just like that.
In my view. All right, we have a question from
There's
Mama
some
JF
red
coming
wine.
on the super chat. K Max McDonald says
He's probably just having some Coke and wine. No big deal.
He's doing a drink combo.
Mama Jeff, what is your background? What country do you derive your ethnic heritage from?
I can't answer that. Before, I had a bad life, but
Right there, it sounded like she said, I had a Bud Light. I don't think that's what she said, but it's almost like she said a Bug Light, too.
That's her heritage?
A Bud
her
Light.
heritage is she was on A Bug's Life?
McDonald says, Mama Jeff, what is your
It almost sounds like she said, I had a Bud Light.
background? What country do you derive your ethnic heritage from?
I can't answer that. Before, I had a bad life, but then after
I think she said bad
Yeah,
life.
she said, I can't answer that. Before I had a Bud Light, so she's a little drunk.
GF. Then I started to look at GF every day. I was always looking at GF. I became crazy. I lost everything I had. I lost my job, my family.
Wait, no.
I quit school.
Yeah,
She had a
literally,
bad life.
Literally, what she's saying is she had friends, she had a family, she had a job, and she was going to school, and then she became so obsessed with listening to JF spread white ethno-state propaganda on the internet that she sent him a DM that said, I wanted to, she was like, Jeff, I'm going to take your dick, like that. And Jeff was like, all right.
Lost everything. I was just
So
looking
his
at GF
penis ruined these girls' lives.
all the time.
That's
I was
right there. That's motive.
crazy. And then after I wrote to him, I said, GF, I want to suck your dick. And then he told me. And that's my background.
You lost your job because you were
I
addicted.
lost everything.
You lost everything because you were addicted to my shows.
Yeah, I was just looking at your show all the time. Even I had a job, and I was going to hide in the bathroom to listen to your show. And
She would hide in the bathroom to listen to. It was probably Warski Live at the time.
Yeah, women do this to me, but their lives get better. They become like CEOs and shit. This is the worst.
No.
JF has the worst penis.
then my boss said, "Why you always disappeared for 10 minutes?" Then you fired me. I lost everything, my family, my friends, everything, because I was just looking at GF show all the time.
She lost all her family and friends because she was looking at JF all the time.
All the time. Look how happy he is to hear this.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, if he did kill her, I think at this point it's his right. She gave up her life for him already. She admitted to it live on this stream. So whatever happens after this, she's lost everything already.
After the whole Jeff Holiday doing JF and you doing Mama JF, after that happened, he blocked me everywhere. Like,
yeah, he blocked me too. He only unblocked me about 2 weeks ago. He unblocked me about 2 weeks ago, and he said, "Billy, please, will you do the Mama JF impression on my voicemail and say everything is okay and you're still alive and you're definitely not inside of a refrigerator? Please, Billy, please leave a voicemail."
Told me that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is some dedicated fan right here.
Ding.
That has anything to do
Look at this. He's watching the non sequitur show breakup video on his stream. This is when they broke up.
with me being on the show. I am due 4 days a week, plus not with the flat earth thing. That is how the agreement was. That is
See, Steve McRae was interested in the flat earth, which is very naive and beautiful. Hello, Mama Jeff. Oh, you took your shower?
Yeah, I was sleeping.
Yeah, so...
Hey, hello, AIU.
Oh, yeah. She's a big fan of AIU.
She had a crush on AIU, apparently.
Hey, I just wanted to say, it's so nice what you do, but I don't know why you're atheist.
Yeah, why are you an atheist, AIU?
I mean, I don't know if he is anymore, but JF was an atheist. He used to, like, debate people from the atheist perspective.
Yeah. What? Yo, hey, me, I believe in God, like. Do you know how I did that?
How did you reach a belief in God?
It's because before I met GF, I was smoking a lot of weed, and after some time, God started to talk to me
God started to talk to her. That's why she's not an atheist.
in my head.
Hello, God.
It's
Me,
real.
Margaret.
I think that atheism is unstoppable will not be convinced by this argument.
Okay, hello.
All right.
You stinky Frenchman, frog you.
That was great. That was wholesome. All right. Let's check this shit out. I think Jespro made this. See, we're like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of this tonight. We're solving the case tonight.
So this is CBC News, Canadian Broadcasting Company.
It says Elora Patowin from Tatooine, the planet with two suns. 30 has ties to both Western Prince Edward Island and the province of Quebec. Eora Patowin was last seen on June 11/17 in Borden Carlton. REC scene, say a concerned citizen reported her missing only this past weekend. RSMP on PEI have put out a call for information on a woman who was last seen in mid-June after receiving a call from someone they describe as a concerned citizen. That's weird.
Yeah, we'll hear JF talk about the person who made the report also eventually.
The last known sighting of Mama JF was on June 17th in Borden Carlton, the village that's home to the Prince Edward Island end of the Confederation Bridge linking to the province to New Brunswick. Mama JF is 30 years old. She's 5 feet 10 inches taller than JF and weighs 140 pounds. It's a good frame for a 5'10" woman. It has brown curly hair. She speaks both French and English, neither very well. Royal Canadian Mounted Police Corporal Gavin Moore says the investigation began this weekend when police got a call expressing worry about Mama JF. This is a high priority file, he said. We make efforts to follow up with all known contacts to that individual. We reach out and make sure that anybody who may come across them will let us know. Dun, dun, dun. She's a very beautiful girl. He expects police will be conducting interviews and checking through any available surveillance video as they search for Mama JF. Moore said Mama JF has links to both Prince Edward Island and Quebec, and her last known address was in western Prince Edward Island. When someone goes missing, it has a deep and far-reaching impacts for the person of those that know them, said a post on the Facebook page maintained by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. We ask that people spread the word through social media respectfully. And that's what we're doing here tonight on Drunken Peasants. We're respectfully spreading the word of Mama JF's death. Both Prince District RCMP and the Force's Major Crime Unit are investigating. Anyone with information on Mama JF is being asked to call Prince District Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Information can also be shared anonymously through Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TITS.
Tits. Does this say anything different? Nope, this is the same thing. See, this is on missingpeople.ca, and then this is the official report. Look, the Mounties, they don't know how to flip a photo, so they got this sideways photo of her.
They actually put that out there in case someone runs into her while she's sideways on the ground. That way they could see her, because we're reaching out to the French Canadians here. They're not capable of seeing somebody straight up if they're sideways. They don't have the mental capacity.
I mean, these people aren't necessarily French Canadian. It's just the Mounties. So it's.
I wonder why this page added 10 pounds to her weight. They're saying she's described as 140 to 150 pounds. It's kind of rude. The sideways photo doesn't add 10 pounds.
I mean, they're probably just not sure of how much she weighs. They're probably just guessing. A lot of weight is self-reported too, like on your driver's license and whatever. Even sometimes when you go to the doctor's office, a lot of times they'll just like ask you how much you think you weigh. It's weird.
Yeah, my driver's license says I'm 300 pounds and 9 inches uncut.
So here is JF. This is a video where I believe this is from last night, where he addresses a lot of the questions people have been asking.
I'm going to read his actions here. I'm going to read the way he speaks. I'm going to read the way he delivers this. If he doesn't seem guilty, I'll write off that I called him guilty.
What makes him seem guilty?
I'm a cold reader.
No, you're not.
I can tell.
At this point, it's I've been wanting to keep it relatively calmer and less less.
Oh shit! I was like, did Jared hack our stream with his hackers?
Very low IQ.
Public, but I've been forced by the various events because people have discovered about it, and so I might as well talk about it instead of letting rumors develop and all of the
develop.
Not a rumor.
That's how he says develop. Develop.
Develop. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. Devil up.
These conditions are about to devil up. I like that. JF posted something saying what had happened, and then at the end of it, he put a link to a tip jar, right?
I don't know. Let's.
You retweeted it, right? The thing you retweeted wasn't the end of his thing like a link to like how to tip him.
No, it was to email him if you have information on her whereabouts.
Oh, I thought it was a tip. I thought he was asking for tips.
No.
Well, those of you watching, you could send us tips using the Streamlab link.
This is the whole thing.
Go.
I guess it's I guess that is a tip. Or no, it's a tip for like her appearance, like a tip like of her whereabouts, not like a financial tip.
See, this is how unguilty I am. I didn't even think about it being a criminal tip. I was like, why is he asking for tips?
Well, it's not a criminal tip.
Why did he put the Streamlab link below?
All of the messy information that can stem from it. So yeah, it's the disappearance of Mama JF. Mama JF has been disappearing in the sense of not leaving any contact.
And actually, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I forgot. I was going to go over this before I read his statement on it. So it says the police in Canada is looking for Mama JF because in true Mama JF fashion, she has left our home in June and has disappeared from the map.
How is that true Mama JF fashion?
He claims she's done this before, but that's his word. Again, I don't know. I don't know.
Sure that she's fine.
I'm sure that Mama JF is fine. I know she has been safe for at least 2 days after I dropped her where she wanted in June. 2 days after is like still 3 months ago. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntarily to go live a life of adventure wherever it would bring her. But since she has electronically...
That line, go live a life of adventure wherever it would bring her, that sounds like someone is saying, oh yeah, the dog went to go live on a farm where it can run and play all day long. That sounds like a line right there.
But since she has electronically disappeared, not connecting to her cell phone or updating me or her family, I ask anyone who would have encountered her to just notify the police so that they can know she is safe. And I ask her if she wants to leave a note to the police, me, or her family to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgarriepi@proton.me. Yeah, it's a tip of her whereabouts. That's what it is.
Now,
Not leaving.
Here's another angle here. He is reporting her missing because he can't find her.
He didn't report her missing.
And she's actually hiding from him.
He didn't report her missing.
Anonymous tip. He could have made the anonymous tip, right? He could have been the person that called it in.
It wasn't anonymous. Well, I mean, it's anonymous to the public, but the people who receive the tip know who it is, and he talks about it here in this video.
Information about where she was, and I titled my episode "The Cost of Liberty" because I didn't want any of this. I'm just a family guy, and I've always been wanting to provide and secure for people around me. But there is one thing I cannot do in our society. I cannot stop you from doing crazy stuff.
He's mad that society won't allow him to completely control what the woman in his life does. That's what he's complaining about here.
Which is stupid because the woman herself will allow you to control everything she does.
I cannot
the majority of women are begging for
exposing yourself to risks when you say the words, I want to do it. When you claim your own liberty, you are on your own, and I cannot do anything to protect you.
It's kind of Andrew Tate logic here. I've heard Andrew Tate say kind of the exact same shit. Like, I get to tell you which way you walk home. That kind of thing.
And so that I don't know if Mama JF is in danger. I don't know where she is. But at this point, I'm forced to talk about it because people are spreading rumors on the internet. Because so I'll just give you my my perspective on all of this, and you know, people are accusing me of murder on the internet. It's like, you guys don't know.
I'm not accusing you of murder. I'm discussing the fact that you could have murdered her, and I'm also investigating, and I will close the case by the end of tonight's segment.
Don't know the police.
You better not have done it.
I've been speaking with the feds on an everyday basis for a couple of days now, for maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple of days. For a couple of days, I've been speaking to the police on a regular basis. So it all stems from Mama JF, you guys know, and I've stated it publicly. In June, she left. She didn't want...
Did he state that publicly in June?
I believe he did, yeah. And that wasn't the first time they broke up. Like a year or two ago, they had a breakup too, and then she came back.
It would be nice if we had access to his public statement and see if it's changed at all from then to now.
He has me blocked on Twitter, so I don't.
I know. I can't see him either.
I mean, it's not even clear why she left, and she's done it in the past. You guys have seen it, who have been following the show for years.
Pat Fink says that JF specifically said she could be dead in a ditch and graped. I don't know if that's true, Pat Fink, but I'm going to assume without checking it up that it is true.
She wanted to go away, so that's all we often know with Mama JF. She wants to go away. She had done it once and had come back to us weeks after. And you remember,
I know a guy who was missing for 18 months without a trace and then came back with a whole new wardrobe and glasses. Like he had gotten like an optometry appointment and got new glasses. And he doesn't remember a day of it. He remembers leaving and then coming back, but he must have had some sort of episode where it was like temporary amnesia or something like that. I told you about this guy before.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of my doctors.
He might be CIA.
No.
They have those brain eraser things.
Remember,
using Men in Black.
She came on the show on the day she came back.
You're making me cringe.
And she said something along the lines of, well, I thought you didn't want to be with me anymore. And so, and I said to her, no, you left of your own will. But she says yes. And then she says yes, but I thought you wanted me to leave. That is sometimes the state of delusion in female minds, and I can't do anything about this. I have zero control over this. If we were in the Christian society of 1920, maybe I could file some report and say, hey, my wife is a little crazy. She's a little out there. Can I control? Can I own her, basically? And I'm sure
they worked on Britney Spears. They owned Britney Spears. You just aren't as good as the people who were in control of Britney Spears, JF. Quit trying to go back to a better time where you could have been a better man. But they literally controlled Britney Spears 4 years ago.
By the way,
you could have done it if you were a better man. Yeah.
He was only like 21 years old when he disappeared. He was just like a college student. So the chance of him being CIA is very low. They don't let 21-year-olds in the CIA.
I mean, basically, you didn't have to file that
Ted
paper
Kaczynski
in 1920s.
Was very young before they
because in the 1920s, this was called marriage. But we are not in the 1920s, and we are in 2023 where we have an experiment going on in society. What happens
if this was the 1920s, I could have had her institutionalized and given her a lobotomy, and it would have raised her IQ.
Females do whatever the fuck they want. Well, what happens is that they sometimes make bad decisions.
Rhino Cube says it's crazy how calm he is. It's creepy. I mean, if he legitimately broke up with her, drove her away 3 months ago, what does he owe any empathy to her for, like she left him apparently,
according to his story, which could be bullshit. I'm just like, we don't even know if she's dead. There's no body, there's no like there's no blood, there's no like anything, so we don't know if she's dead. If she is dead, he's a suspect.
I think it's less creepy how calm he is because of how explicitly he's talking about wishing he could have owned and controlled her like they did in the 1920s. That's their MO, though.
He's always been that way.
Yeah, but that's what's creepy. I'm saying he's always been creepy. It's not creepy that he's calm.
There was
honestly, it's on brand that he's calm.
Back in the day, JF was a very much adored character on this show. And there were a lot of ladies that had crushes on JF. I'm not like...
there's a lot of pathetic ladies that have crushes on creepy people on this podcast.
Yeah, they're always...
I know one of them.
In June, she left. And
Who is it? Who do you know?
I'm not gonna talk about that, Ben. This is private time.
But you did talk about it.
Who's that?
No, you talked about it. You said you know one of them. So that's
I
talking
know.
about it.
I know.
days after leaving, so she left and she had a whole plan. She had bought camping material. She was on her way to some sort of survivalist trip. From what I understood, it looked like she was preparing for life in the wild. She promised me when she left that she would always be reachable and that I would be able to reach her to deal with all of the official papers. You know that she owns a lot of stuff and sometimes I need her signature. And I was like, and although, you know, we do have legal remedies for this, I was like, if you totally disappear, you might put me in trouble on some bills, on some, you know, getting utilities and everything. So she promised to me that she wouldn't fully disappear. She went away. And 2 days later, she talked to me on the phone and sent a message. But by the way, everything I tell you is things I have told to the police. So it's not, there's no secret coming out that you guys are hearing. It might be secret from a public perspective, but it's all things.
Public perspective.
That the feds have been knowing for a couple of days. So the last message that she sends me in June, 2 days after leaving, and it had been apparent, I think
At the last place she was seen, it wasn't like, it's not like he drove her like 100 miles into the woods and dropped her off there. She was near a bridge crossing into, it said New Brunswick, right?
Was it that bridge that was on Google Maps that the person fell off and died on?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We just watched the news report like two episodes ago.
No, that was in the U.S. where that happened.
Is it anywhere near a Wendy's?
It may have been in contact.
Are you just trying to talk about anything else other than what we're actually talking about?
I'm just trying to make this entertaining.
These 2 days, so I was sure that she was progressing through whatever trip she wanted to do. I knew that she was still alive. But 2 days after leaving, she says, I have changed my plans. I will not hold my promise toward you. I will not be reachable. And it's like, okay. She says, I have a new plan. And I'm like, does your new plan involve any sort of attack against me? Or
I like how that's his first question. Oh, you have a okay, we're breaking up and you have a plan. Does it have anything to do with an attack against me? That was his first question.
Family. Because you guys know how important that is to me.
No. You being attacked is what's important to you.
She says, you don't have to be worried. My new plan does not involve you. I'm just going to...
Pez says he claims he dropped her off in the woods.
He claims that, but then where did they say she was last seen? Was it in the woods? Was it near the woods? Like, was it on the edge of the woods? Was it like 100 miles into the woods? I'd like to know.
I knew that she had left without any sort of electronic tracking. You know how the police can track you with your credit card, with your debit card? She had left with nothing but her phone. So when she said that to me through text, I concluded, okay, she's going off-grid. You know, she's going full survivalism. And kind of in her fashion. I mean, that's the way Mama J.
In her fashion? How is this her fashion?
He's claiming she had been known to do this, but I don't know her at all, so I can't be like, oh, that's true, that's not true. But that's the narrative he's running with right now.
So changing her phone, to me, it meant I'm I'm dropping potentially my own identity behind. I'm potentially disappearing in nature. I'm potentially, I mean, she could be anywhere from there. And that's what I was explaining to the police. You know, Mama JF, you remember the story she told on her video on YouTube where she talked about crossing the border in Spain and in the enclaves of Spain in North Africa. Mama JF is a fucking extreme, like 007 level of like fugitive mentality. And I was kind of telling that to the police.
Did he mean to say 007 like James Bond?
Yeah, that's what he meant to say, but he said 007.
Joke.
So she's James Bond.
Yep.
Half joking.
Is her IQ 007?
Yeah, so 7.
But it's like she's a professional fugitive who doesn't commit crimes. So it's like she's gonna be hiding from you as hard as she can while
we saw her on video committing crimes.
True.
And it was very apparent when she was tagging up that building, which, by the way, could have been owned by Eric July, third suspect. We know Eric July is willing to kill somebody for defacing his buildings. We have her on video defacing a building. She could be 007 in the new Isom comic book, The Defacer.
Not having anything to reproach to herself. But that's just how she is. So, I mean, she and so from there, I'm like, I'm going to drop myself behind. I'm going to disappear. You're not going to be able to reach me. So that is what I've been knowing since June. And of course, you're faced with the big, should I call the police? This is a willing woman, a willing adult woman.
Trying the delirium red in your honor, Ben.
Greatest beer ever. Send another Streamlabs later letting me know what you think.
Her willing stuff. So I've not called the police because in my view, there was no evidence of criminality. There was no evidence of distress. It looked like, to me, someone who has decided to go survivalism. Will I report someone for being survivalist? I mean, this reminds me.
I mean, if you don't think that they could actually survive if they don't have the skills necessary, I don't know if you should report them, but you should probably be like, you shouldn't do this. I'm not taking you to the woods because I don't think you can survive on your own out in the wilderness.
Should I be a report for dropping off a girl with a very low IQ in the middle of the woods with only a cell phone and no charger?
Reminds me of the Facebook post. You know, as one of your loved ones gone to survivalism, as one of your loved one bought too much camping material. That is literally one of the Facebook book posts, but I don't want to be in the society where buying camping material gets you reported to the feds. And I am bound to Mama JF's interest because I've loved her and I still love her and I still consider myself allied to her forever. Forever, no matter what she does, even if she goes out there getting other boyfriends, I consider myself tied to her forever. So at this point, I'm in front of this information. And I've decided that this was not warranting a call to the police in June. And I've spoken to her.
Pescator in the chat says buying tarp, shovels, and lime is not against the law.
Family.
Look, just because before she went out to the woods, we bought some tarps and shovels, that's just camping gear. It's no big deal, guys.
And they thought similarly, you know, this is Mama JF. She is an...
By the way, if you just showed up, please like the stream. If you haven't already, liking the stream is very helpful. Thank you.
Out there woman, and it's not the first time she does this. In the absence of any evidence of harm or that she's doing something evil to someone else, there's no reason to call the police. And in fact, we even had someone in the family talked loosely to a federal investigator who was friends with us and just asking, what is this? Is this a disappearance or is this just a woman? Just a woman doing whatever she wants. And the
the modern woman has a right to go camping in the woods with only her cell phone and no charger.
Actually, I don't
know where you're going to charge it if you're camping in the woods. I don't know.
True.
What I
Smart
heard,
she didn't bring her charger.
This is not an interaction that I had myself, but someone who was worried in the family spoke to an investigator and said, look, those are the facts. It's a woman. She leaves like this. She wanted to leave. She gets herself equipped with camping material and all. Is this?
I can't wait for the quartering to chime in on this and be like, it's obviously her fault. She watched the Marvel film, Miss Marvel, and felt like she could do anything. This is a classic case of a Mary Sue wanting to go out into the woods all by herself and just not surviving. Women, wake up. You're not Miss Marvel.
Is this something we should signal? And the investigator had said, well, no, this looks like a consensual trip. So I was reassured that not only was my judgment converging toward the fact that Mama JF does not need help.
Everyone keeps talking about like a trial and everything. Nothing's happening to JF until they find a body, unless like they can prove like he admitted to someone that he did something. Until they have a body, they really don't have any evidence against him.
If they can find receipts for all the tarps and shovels he bought before.
You're assuming there's tarps and
woods.
shovels. I mean,
I'm assuming there's receipts too. They have to find them. But there's other things that could tie it in before a body.
Right, like him.
Inconsistencies in story. Like they'll tell him.
That's not enough to charge him, though. Like they need like real evidence.
That's the beginning of the investigation, though.
Yeah, they would need like physical evidence to charge him at this point, unless someone saw him like murdering her or something. They're not going to go that far until like there's like a body, and then there would have to be like his DNA on her or like fibers from his carpet or whatever, like that kind of shit, So I don't know. I don't know if.
We'll figure it out. We will see by the end of tonight's segment whether or not he's guilty.
No, we won't.
Hands down.
Help, and that she's a free woman. She can decide to do this. And also, there was these social signals reinforcing that I wasn't the only one thinking this. Other people were thinking this also. So that was the state in June and July, but then, the months pass and now we're in October. When is it that worries are justified? And so there was a building up of stress in the people who love her. And my position has always been to all of these people.
Yes, Sticky, there are people that are found guilty without a body, but there's still like remains. There's like blood. There's some kind of physical evidence that links them to the murder, not just like anecdotal evidence.
It's murder.
Or just like, they just sound guilty.
To any friend of Mama JF and to any person involved.
Sticky makes a great point. Since when has he given a shit about what women want to do? in one breath, he's talking about if it was the 1920s, I could have her committed until she decided to come home to me. And then in the other earth, he's like, I just drove her out into the woods because that's what she wanted. It doesn't make sense.
Has been, I saw her go. I saw her wanting to go. And so I don't need to call the police. But if you feel that it warrants a call to the police, I respect you and you go ahead and call them. And I will not say who ended up calling, but someone ended up noticing that somehow Mama JF was missing and maybe knew about me. I don't know. I don't know exactly.
So he doesn't know who called. So he could have been the one that called.
Well, then he would know who called, though, right?
Well, but he could be lying right now. This whole thing could be a lie, right? Like everything he's saying could be a cover up.
It could all be a lie as much as it could all be the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
it all happened, but someone
like the fact that someone could be lying doesn't prove anything because we don't know.
Ended up noticing, hey, there's this girl and her loved ones
Anecdotal.
There you go.
don't know where she is. And so they made a call.
The news article said it was a concerned citizen. Yeah, that was what rifled some feathers with my brain. I was like, concerned citizen?
I don't know what that means.
What is this?
To the police, and this launched a whole investigation that I've been involved in for, I don't know, maybe 4 days, 5 days, I don't know. But the feds are coming regularly at my house. They are waking me in the morning. I sleep late, and all of my loved ones sleep late, or just that.
The feds are really coming to his house?
Yeah, the Mounties. They're investigating the missing persons case. So yeah, they came to his house to talk to him more than a couple times, according to him.
We are computer programmers living in the night, that is just what we do. And
so he's talking about the other people that he lives with, they're computer programmers. I have no idea. He's very secretive about, like, he talks openly about it, but it's very vague, the people that he lives with. But he said we are computer programmers working in the night. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
They're the people that run Parler?
I don't know what it is.
I'm a man of the internet. My show is at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's not even the end of my day. So they wake me up every morning. There are days where they come once, where there are days where they come twice. There's always a truck of the feds in front of my house, and there's lots of people making jokes right now on the social media, like, Jeff, where did you hide the body and all. I knew that this was coming to this no matter what, because we live in a society that just can't accept the cost of liberty. The cost of liberty is you're going to have a bunch of...
a car parked outside of his house all the time?
I don't know why they would. Why did he say
must
that?
Be a
I missed
serious
that.
Person. That's what I just said, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he just said that. That sounds like a very big person of interest.
If that's true. Yeah.
Females make terrible decisions.
You want to rewind it and see if he said that?
I don't know how far.
And it's not even the end of my day.
But why would we trust him if he's to say like one thing and be true about it and not the other thing? Like,
well,
if
this thing would be moderately incriminating, where the other things would be covering tracks.
Well, right. Like, there's already a bias, so it's the things that he's saying that would exonerate him are lies, and then the things that make him. It's fine. It's fine. We can play this game if you want.
The game is the things that he says that make him sound guilty. If they're lies, that's weird. If the things that cover him up are lies, that makes sense. He's covering up his crimes.
He's a creepy guy. He's a white nationalist. He's a piece of shit. That's fine, but I still have to be honest about like what I know about. I'm not going to pretend like I know a bunch of shit. I'm not like all of a sudden an expert criminologist / psychologist that knows what's going on here, but everyone like around here in the chat seems to think they are. It's weird.
Because we all did some time in the FBI, me and the chat.
I thought it was the CIA. Isn't everyone? I love how the CIA is this like exclusive government agency that runs everything, yet everyone's in the CIA. There's all these fucking people that are in the CIA.
They're called informants. They're called sleeper agents.
The Bilderbergs control them.
So they wake me up every morning. There are days where they come once, where there are days where they come twice. There's always a truck of the feds in front of my house, and
that right there. Holy shit! They're coming to talk to him at least once a day, some days twice, and they're always watching him in their truck.
Yeah. So he dropped he dropped off Mama JF. He helped her buy some camping supplies and dropped her off near the woods, safe and sound.
There's lots of people making jokes right now on the social media, like, Jeff, where did you hide the body and all.
Alec John says, how did you guys miss this whole part? I didn't. That's why we went back.
Yeah, I missed that part. That's why we went back. I was like, did he say that?
That this was coming to this no matter what, because we live in a society that just can't accept the cost of liberty. The cost of liberty is you're going to have a bunch of females make terrible decisions. But no, I have not killed Mama JF, and I would be very surprised that I'm even considered a suspect in any way.
So, I mean, were they parked outside of his house before Mama JF went missing? Have they just been out there this whole time?
He would be very surprised if he was a suspect. They've been there multiple times. The car's out there all the time. Maybe they're just there because that was the last known residence for her. But I think the only reason he would say he's very surprised if they've been telling him he's not a suspect so that he'll continue talking to them without lawyering up.
Yeah. I mean, if they're talking to me, I assume I might be a suspect.
He's literally saying they're coming once, twice a day, parked outside of his house. They're playing him like a fucking fiddle right now if he doesn't think he's a suspect.
Because I have left records, I have left electronic traces.
Tipster in the chat.
Of my dropping her alive in front of cameras of a gas station, and
so he dropped her off at a gas station. Okay, so that footage needs to materialize right now, because you're like referencing the cameras as if there should be camera footage of you dropping her off and you driving away, and then she goes off on her own.
Pescator says if you abandon a vulnerable adult, that should be a charge.
How is she vulnerable?
If she has a very low IQ. If she has a cell phone in the woods and that's it.
None of you guys know if she's mentally disabled. You really don't know.
We do know that she has issues, that her brain doesn't always according to that
she's
video
awkward.
with No White Guilt, her brain has imaginations, delusions. So that could be her being vulnerable if she's not all mentally there because of prior trauma that he knows about, that he's discussed live on air.
Yeah, you know, I wish one of these articles that posted her missing would let us know that this mentally disabled girl is missing. They just made it sound like...
They might not know. We might need to talk to them. They might be watching us right now.
So,
we might be
we
the story
diagnosed
to them.
her. It was us, the mental health experts
they might not
online.
have seen the video. We've seen the video where she thinks No White Guilt was gonna murder her, threatened to murder her, tried to murder her.
We're all expert psychologists.
There's been plenty of
compared
electronic records
to
of the
these
fact that she
news
was alive
organizations, we are.
many
No, we're
days
not.
after
It doesn't
leaving
matter.
me.
Compared to nothing, we're not. Like, we can't.
We have more information than they do.
We're not
possibly.
experts.
After asking me to drop her at
We
a
might
certain
not
location.
be, but I am.
No, you're not.
So, and yes, you know that there are so many cameras these days and credit cards purchases that I can prove. I would be very surprised that I'm anyhow considered a suspect, but the feds are still very thirsty for information, so they keep coming back. And honestly, I'm very impressed by the quality of their work, but it's like they understand also that I'm a guy on the internet, so I'm not. I have a high security home. I'm not going to let them in, you know. But it's like, okay, they want every possible detail they can have about Mama JF because they are on this program of finding Mama JF, and it's fascinating to see a bunch of professionals like this who really are interested in her safety. Let me tell you, I'm hostile to the government in general, but I've always known that within the police force, the vast majority of policemen are excellent, just excellent workers and professionals, and I see it in my interactions with them. They understand everything. So so that means they're coming to me and they want to know exactly what she said before leaving. They want traces of where were you when you dropped her, who could know her, who are her friends. And it's like I pulled Mama JF out of a lifestyle, and I never really got acquainted with this lifestyle. You know, I'm not the kind of I don't
What
have
lifestyle?
respect
She
for.
said she gave up her family, her friends, and her career to suck your dick. We watched that video earlier too. And you're saying you put her back into that same lifestyle in the middle of the woods with nobody to talk to her?
For human beings, especially not homeless druggies, you know. So I'm not the kind of guy who will approach a female and become friends with her male friends. So what I did with Mama JF is I extracted her from her misery and from her lifestyle, and I brought her to a greater lifestyle, cleaner, you know, less craziness. So that is what I've done. And so when they ask me, where could she be? Is she friends with this guy? Is she friends with these guys? It's like I have just a general.
He keeps mentioning the guys she's friends with, so I'm thinking like she started hanging out with these dudes and he got jealous. That might be part of why the breakup happened. I don't know. The way he keeps mentioning, oh, she's friends with these guys. She was friends with these guys. It just kind of seemed, or maybe he's trying to pin it on these guys she knew. You know, like, oh, she was hanging out with these guys I didn't know. Maybe they killed her.
Well, ID that Mama Jeff is a super social creature.
Yeah, redneck sister fucker, you caught me. I was in Canada. It's all me. I did it, redneck sister fucker. It was me all along.
Of Montreal.
Is this when you went up to hang out with Adam from your movie Sucks? Is he an accomplice?
No, because that was all the way on the other side of Canada. That was like 2,500 miles away from where all this shit happened. Maybe even 3,000 miles away from where all this happened.
And that's what I've been telling them. Yeah, so that's been so the feds being extremely, you know, on their path of we need to save everyone. We need to save everyone. And I'm like, it's amazing to see the conversations between them and me, because I'm actually less motivated at finding Mama Jeff than they are. I've never requested any of this. I want to be clear.
Then why did you put up a anonymous link asking for encrypted tips if you didn't care? You should have put a link to the police. Say, if you have information, call the police. This doesn't make sense.
I want to know what you know.
Yeah, you're like, you can send me encrypted tips. That tells me you don't care, or you care more than you say you do.
Yeah.
If Mama JF is out there listening to this, I want to be clear with you, Mama JF. I've not been requesting an investigation against you. I've not been trying to send the feds after you. I've not been wanting to do this episode even. I'm forced to do this episode because there are forum.
This part makes me think maybe he called in the tip himself to get information out so the feds would start looking so he could find her, because he wants to control her again. She might be hiding from him. She might be alive and well and hiding from JF.
I mean, like a lot of people do the whole off-grid like van life thing, or they go hike the Appalachian Trail for several months and they sleep in these weird shelters. I don't know, but I will say winter is coming, and Canadian winter is pretty brutal. So if she is like living in the woods somewhere, I don't know how she's going to be doing come late November up there.
She's 5'10". She sucks deek. And I'm sure she could find.
What's she gonna do? Suck grizzly bear dick? Like what?
She'll find a lumberjack. A lumberjack will take her in.
There's nobody up there.
He dropped her off where there's nobody.
Well, he said he dropped her off. See, there's conflicting information. So people are telling, he said he dropped her off in the woods. He literally right here just said he dropped her off at a gas station. So not the woods, at a gas station. It might have been like near the woods, but it was a gas station. So, and he's saying it was in front of cameras. So we need to see the camera footage. I want to see her get out and him drive away. I mean, of course, that doesn't mean he didn't like turn around and like abduct her later, but why even do that? Why like, I don't know. we're not going to know anything about what happened until more investigation is done by the feds there.
But at the end of this segment,
Dudley
we will have a vote, and we will take that vote as a final solution to JF and Mama JF.
A final solution?
Yeah, our audience will vote.
That your face is on.
We already know what they're going to vote. Like, why even do it? Why even waste the time?
Whatever the feds have published, and so
I think it's.
and
I
then
think,
people
I think whatever the audience votes is the unequivocal truth.
Are
of what
looking at
happened.
my tweet today, informing people about this, and they're like, "Well, look, he calls her Mama JF. He doesn't even call her by her real name, so he's not really interested at them finding her." It's like there's a lot of interest to wade in here. First, by naming Mama JF a way that I've never named her publicly, I would only be misleading people. The fact is, everyone who interacts with me through this platform knows Mama JF as Mama JF. So that's her name for you guys. I'm not going to reveal her real name because, honestly, I don't even know if she wants to.
It's already out there now. She's officially reported missing, so her real name is out there.
Maybe she'll show up somewhere doing a naked bike ride like
she
she's
did do
known
that
to do before.
She had been known to do that.
And that is something you have to wait when you're in this situation. I am a bearer of the interest of Mama JF. Maybe she doesn't want to be found. Maybe she's on a huge trip, whatever, thinking... going to parties. Maybe she's going to Woodstock in the U.S. I have no...
Is Woodstock going on? What? I don't think
Maybe she's going to Woodstock in the U.S.
Did she build a time machine and go back in time?
No clue.
I'm going to look right now and see if I can get tickets to Woodstock.
You need that time machine. You get to choose, though, 99, 94, or 1960, whatever it was. I don't know what year it was in the 60s.
But maybe she doesn't want to be found, and that's part of her liberty that I have to defend. I'm not going to act like these worried families who want to help someone more than they want to be helped. Because one thing I have
there was a festival at the Woodstock location August 19th through 20th.
But was it like Woodstock? Was the festival called Woodstock, or was it something else?
No, it was at the Woodstock site, though. So
enormous cost
could have been
in my
referring to
life
that.
is don't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. And so I'm
building a time machine and going to Woodstock 99. Peace and love.
To these feds, I'm like, please understand, you're going to pursue a fugitive who has committed zero crime. She's going to be playing with you, sending you on false traces. She's going to have her hoodie, hiding herself from facial recognition cameras everywhere.
Hoodies are evil.
Where she enters, she has dropped all of
what's
her...
What's that Rami Malek TV show, Mr. Robot? She could be Mrs. Robot, hiding from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Electronics behind. She's basically 007, but she has no
Zero,
mission.
say it right. Come on,
this
man.
This is so stupid, dude. There's no way she's 007 hiding when we saw her plain as day commit a crime tagging up a fucking wall.
JF is the king gay. Yeah, the king gay.
She couldn't even spell king correctly.
You guys for a crime that she did because she's a good person. She's not going to commit a crime. That's the situation. You guys want to have fun finding her to be sure that she's safe? You go ahead.
He's literally daring them to find her body.
Yeah.
I know will when I see it, and her will was to go out there and for whatever period. I didn't
he
know
knows when he sees it. He was literally in a court case deemed unfit by the state of Texas to date a woman. It was against her legal will to date him. He had to fight Texas, and they said, no, you can't date this woman. She's too low IQ. We have that on record. This is classic narcissism by a serial killer.
would be a 2-week period like last time, or whether it would be a 2-year period. She could be on a container traveling toward Morocco right now. And
Morocco.
She could have.
There'd be a record of that, by the way. You can't just get up and
to Morocco, Ben.
You can't just get up and fly to Africa without there being a paper trail behind it. It doesn't work that way. What is she in a sailboat sailing across the ocean?
In Morocco.
She could have dealt with the locals at the port. She could have talked to
at the port. Is she taking a ship? Like, is she going to be on a ship for like a week on the way to Morocco?
A boat driver, and
she didn't take any of her credit cards with her. That's what he said, right?
There'd be a trace of that too somewhere. Like
he said, she didn't take them with her.
Yeah, the Mounties would be able to see that info. They'd be able to track her cell phone at this point. Like they have a full on permission to track anything she might have done, and they don't have anything at this point. So,
give him some money and get on the boat. Who the fuck knows? I mean. And so that is the situation. And to people who are saying, well, he doesn't make all efforts to find her, but he doesn't name her in her tweet, or he doesn't show a photo of her. I'm not going to show a photo of her or name her when this is not my quest. This is not my quest. I had a visual confirmation from Mama JF live in front of me that she wanted to go away. So as far as I'm concerned, she's still in a trip. She's still out there just tripping. And
she's out there tripping.
And I'm not going to publish her image because I don't know whether she consents to it.
Let's put it this way, dude. You deviled up this conversation, JF Garapi. This is all, the feds have watched this entire thing. They know.
Oh, shit. If you just showed up, guys, please like the stream. Like, we're teetering on 400 live viewers. We're trying to get there. Liking the stream helps out a lot.
Her name, because I don't know if she consents to it. If she wants to call me and say, JF, I want to be found, or JF, I don't want to be found, she could do it, and she can do it. So yeah, what I said in my tweet is, if you guys want to help the police, and you've seen Mama JF somewhere, you've seen her at a gas station, you've seen someone who looks like her, you just call the police or check my tweet and you will find a Proton Mail email address. If you don't want to be in contact with the police, just send me an email and I can relay any information that I think is relevant or factual. I'm not going to relay trolling, so you guys can already forget the idea of trolling me.
We're not going to forget that, JF. Huh? We're going to troll you forever.
To relay what seems to be important, but it's probably
he's looking for an alibi.
You'd think he'd already have one lined up if he had perpetrated this murder.
JF is out
Scuffed
there.
Gaming says he's capping so hard right now. He is hecka capping. Caps in the chat for all of these caps from Papa JF, Kappa JF. Detective presence are on the case.
Probably exposing herself to huge risks. You know, the risks of street life and anonymous life. When no one is there to care for you, you are at risk. Because no one knows. No one knows if someone has raped you and just put your body in a ditch. And no one is there to check. That's the consequence of anonymity. That's the consequence of having no one.
Oh, no. They said a dead woman's remains were found on PEI August 17th. Got to look that up.
Cost of liberty. But we've chosen to, and Mama JF has fully chosen to run with that cost. So it's like she has her husband right here, ready to care for her, ready to give her security and comfort and not demanding anything from her. She chose to expose herself to whatever risk it is, and she totally has the right to do so. Shadow Ban
There
says
was a
if someone
body
could get away
found,
with
and they believe it was a girl named Summer Kneebone.
Yeah, they probably are. They probably have already like done DNA analysis or like dental records or whatever on that kind of shit, and they can tell like how long they've been dead and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this girl had tattoos, so
Yeah.
if the body had tattoos, they would know for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
there were
I don't
no
know for
visible.
fact.
There were no visible Mama JF tattoos, and there were naked pictures of her out there. So
murder, it's JF. But if someone could get away with faking their death, it's Mama JF.
that, you know, I kind of feel like he does the fake laugh thing, like Cobra and Jared. His laugh never seems genuine. He's like,
Shadow Ban says if someone could get away with murder, it's JF. But if someone could get away with faking their death, it's Mama JF.
That's not true at all.
That is absolutely correct.
Why would he agree with that? He's like, because is he agreeing with the first part of that statement that was claiming if anyone could get away with murder, it's him? Because he laughed at, because he was agreeing with that whole statement, right?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, he shouldn't even, you know what? If he did do it, he's stupid. He should he should not have done this stream. If he did it.
You know that O.J. Simpson book that came out, If I Did It?
Yeah, but he wrote that after he was found not guilty, and you can't be charged twice for the same crime.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do an If I Did It for JF Garapi. Okay, this is what happened with JF and Mama JF. JF was fighting with her. She was obviously maybe spilled some wine on the carpet. She was going crazy, and he was so angry that he couldn't control her because he's a tiny manlet. And even a woman with a small IQ knows she can break away from such a little man. He, in a fit of rage, hit her with a mason jar cup.
Someone said 6 months before he's charged. I don't think he'll be charged until like some sort of DNA evidence or like a body is found. And even then they have to like link it back to him somehow. Or if they find like blood in it, her blood in his car or whatever, something like that.
He's had months to clean up everything, and they're going to find patterns of things being cleaned that normally wouldn't be cleaned.
Oh, he did already say later on in this he's going to talk about how he cleaned.
I mean, you have found an interesting duality right here. Absolutely, totally the style of Mama JF.
How tall is he? I think he's like 5'5" or 6, something like that.
Basically, fake her death or to just disappear in a way that she can switch identity. I mean, she's and it's
I really
amazing.
hope Mama JF is alive and well. Anyway,
me too.
Great show, Ben and Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope she's alive and well too. Joking about her being dead is completely a joke, and it's only funny if she's out there alive somewhere.
That's why I'm like, she could be dead. Like, you know,
she could be, but I'm gonna joke about it either way, right? Like, if she is dead, the jokes are just gonna be different.
So are those?
But now that we know,
so like, if you find out she's dead and she's been dead while you're telling these jokes about her being dead, do those jokes stop being funny?
No, they're still funny. Like, you can't go back in time and make something not funny. But the jokes will just change. We change humor based on the information we have.
After 3 months, she's very likely dead. I don't agree with that. People have that. I'd like to see statistics on that, but I don't think 3 months. 3 months is a long time to be missing. I don't think she's more likely to be dead at this point. She could be. She very well could be. But I don't think that no, it's not really that long. I'll take 3 months to return a phone call. You know, like,
because Mama JF doesn't watch movies like CSI and 007 or she doesn't watch.
People just I'm there with you. It would be hilarious if, well, it wouldn't be hilarious if she was killed, but it would be hilarious to see JF like get prosecuted and go to prison for something. And I think people want that, but I'm saying, like, in order for that to be true, this woman had to have been murdered. So, like, don't jump to things too quickly, because it's a tragic story if that's the way it is.
I just have to get all the murder jokes out while there's still an idea that she's alive. That's all.
Someone, Fabry, you don't know if she's mentally challenged. There's been no verification that she was mentally challenged.
There has been verification that her mind is not all there, though, that she has issues brought on by trauma from that video we've seen.
Sure. A lot of people have trauma,
delusions.
Though. A lot of people have delusions. Like, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean she's regarded. You know what I mean?
She is mentally unwell, though.
At least at one point.
Excited at it. But her life is a James Bond movie of its own. That is what is so amazing. Holy
that is
shit.
telling, though, Ben. You're
more
more upset than JF is. That makes him look super guilty.
I'm not upset. I'm being...
You're more upset than he is.
I'm not upset at all.
You're taking it more seriously than he is. You're giving it more validity than he is.
Not really. I mean, like, my thing is I think it's weird when people... we all do it. But on the internet... I see people, they have a bias towards something, and then they're like, oh, it's 100% that way. All of a sudden, everyone's like an expert in something they couldn't possibly be an expert in. Like armchair quarterbacking everything. And that's annoying to me. You're not that smart. Like, you don't have, like, powers that enable you to know what happened in North Eastern Canada 3 months ago. You just don't know. Like, you know as much as we all know. We're watching the videos, and we know that we don't like JF because he's a weirdo. We know that.
Yeah, the majority of you do not have the powers of investigation that I do.
Crazy woman.
Ben is like my what's Sherlock Holmes, buddy?
Crazy woman who have been in my
Mayweather
life.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She has
Floyd
always
Pennywise
been,
or whatever.
Yep.
Morally straight, you know.
Watson.
Yes,
Ben's my Watson.
all of this disappearance is causing
elementary
some kind of shake-up and chaotic thing in my life. I mean, I'm getting woken up by the feds every morning. They're knocking at my window, and I'm like, what? But I'd much rather this than evil stuff, than attacks on loved ones. I would much rather the chaotic nature of Mama Jeff, but with a kind of moral pillar to it, than anything else, anything more evil. Forex says, often when worried families get the state involved to save or help someone, they make it significantly worse for the person. There is very little help the state can give to a person against their own will. That is very wise. And that is what I was telling the policeman, you know, wherever Mama JF is, it was our choice to be there, and it was our choice to run these risks. And
he's like, look, police, it's her choice. Don't investigate. It's a woman's choice. You're a misogynist if you investigate.
All of these people are looking for her. So now,
just because detective work isn't rocket science doesn't mean it's simple. Like, oh, they said rocket surgery. All right, I'm not taking anything you say seriously anymore. Jenny Simon, you're not a detective. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're another armchair quarterback on this shit. It's fine. Like, I'm not... See, the thing is, I'm not claiming to know what happened. He could very well have, like, taken her out of the woods and killed her. Like, something weird could have happened. That's fine. But I'm not going to pretend like I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I really, literally don't know anything about this. And I actually know JF. Like, I've actually known the guy and, like, had private conversations with him before. But we had a falling out because we made fun of Mama JF being mentally challenged.
JF is the Riddler, and Ben and Billy are gonna Batman and Robin this case.
Exactly, random guy. And yeah, I know pretty much everything. I'm terribly intelligent, but now even like rocket surgery is out of my pay grade.
Whole national campaign to find Mama JF, and I will ask Mama JF and you guys just to calm all
you didn't
these
have a
people.
falling out
Can you
because
please?
he's a Nazi? That's surprisingly not a deal breaker here at Drunken Peasants.
No, I wanted him to keep. Well, at the time, we would have him on the show and we would goof on his Nazi shit, and it was funny, like the whole Garbage Island thing and that kind of shit. So no, yeah, like come on and say your dumb Nazi shit, and we'll make you look dumb. That was fine, and he was kind of fine with that because he didn't think he looked dumb. But when we goofed on Mama JF, he got mad and blocked us everywhere. That was the end of it.
He didn't think he looked dumb until he saw how good we were at making him look dumb, and he blocked us. This is a case right here where he doesn't think he looks dumb,
right?
But the feds keep coming to his house multiple times.
But that was before he was doing this. When he was keeping quiet about it, the feds were coming.
And he's telling them all about all this stuff because they're getting a case built against him. They're finding any inconsistencies that can go against their clues. It's a matter of time whether JF is acquitted or charged.
Well, you have to be charged to be acquitted. Acquitted means you were charged and found not guilty.
The gloves don't fit.
Barrett, like, go ahead and just if you've seen Mama JF alive, and you can reassure everyone, and you can calm these people, and you can make so the feds don't knock on my door on an everyday basis, that would be very appreciated. As far as I know from this investigation, as far as my interaction with the police, I understand it to be, they are not interested in any form of persecution of me, of Mama JF. They are just
That's
interested
what they'll
at
tell you if they're
establishing.
investigating you, so you still work with them. They always tell you they're not interested in you as a suspect until they have something to charge you with, because they want you to continue talking to them.
Someone asked about JF's contributions to DP. Yeah, he was $100 patron for like 4 or 5 months, and we used to have him on the show.
We didn't want to have a Nazi on the show.
We didn't know he was.
Paid to be here.
We didn't know he was back then. He wasn't like outwardly talking about this kind of shit back then. It was after he started streaming with Warski that he was like, "Oh no, I believe in race realism." Like that's when he fell into that whole thing. I mean, he might have been into it even back then, but he knew it wouldn't go over well.
He didn't block us until Jeff and I did the JF Mama JF impression.
Yep.
That's when he was like, "Fuck these guys."
And
They're making fun of my beautiful baby Mama JF.
Someone DM'd him and asked why he blocked us, and he literally gave that as the reason. So that was
obvious. It was the night that we did it. We all got blocked.
Yeah.
Think that Mama JF is alive. So Mama JF, if you hear this, you have a chance there to calm all these people down. Only with a word from you, I'm sure they would be reassured. Silver Spider says, JF is such a loyal guy. I really hope he finds a loyal wife. We should pool all of our super chats together and order him one from Japan. Well, talking about wives from Japan, I mean. Martin
Shkreli? Oh, dude, is he about to like drool over Shkreli? Is this Shkreli's girlfriend? Or is this
girlfriend? I think that's Sam Bankman-Fried's ex.
Oh, but they're not really dating. This is just like a funny picture.
I don't know. She posted new boyfriend. She could be trolling, or they could be dating.
But do you remember what JF said? He was only going to have whites in his ethno state, except for the hot Asian ladies. So he's all about this.
Yes,
Martin's out here giving
Shkreli. Oh my God!
Direct coverage of the Sam Bankman-Fried case. And Comic Artist Pro Secrets in the chat. Glad you're enjoying the show.
He scored the ultimate jaw-having.
Only one person on the screen has taken money from Epstein, Billy.
Yeah, and I honestly, times are tough right now since Epstein died. I haven't been getting my regular checks.
Asian. I have never seen this, ladies and gentlemen. The sexy body of the neotenic Asian combined with the perfect jaw of the European genetics. How the hell, where the hell does Martin Shkreli find such perfection? Tiffany Fong.
He said perfect jaw of European genetics. He's not talking about Shkreli, right?
Obviously talking about Shkreli. That's an Albanian man jaw.
That is
right
not
there.
a perfect jaw. What's he talking
That's an
about?
Albanian man jaw.
Yeah, he's Albanian and he's a man, but that's not perfect. Like, he's not...
His new girlfriend of Martin Shkreli. Yes. Oh, my God.
Okay, yeah, I thought he was talking about her. I could have swore he was like... I was like, is she part European? I don't know.
I'm so happy for you, Martin. I'm so happy. Daryl says that's almost too much, I mean, this is the point at which it's almost there. Balloon Nut says, sends $10. Thank you so much. He says, are you serious? Did Mama JF really leave the family for no other reason than to be a drifter? I mean, it looks like it.
I love how he read that too.
Looks like it. I mean, you guys know we have seen her here on the show, leaving back like a year or two ago, and we have seen her again disappearing. And you know, just before she left in June, I remember a bizarre show.
I like how he said bizarre. That's almost Snoop Dogg talk right there.
Where I accused her of
For
terrorism.
Shizar, my bizarre.
My Nizar.
Because she tried to enter the studio with something that I do not allow at all on the
What was it?
show, like at all. And she knows it very well that there will never be such things on this show.
What is it?
And she attempted to surprise me by surprise opening the door of the studio and came running to my camera. And I had the chance to turn off the camera just before she arrived to me, because it's like 2 meters. She did a 2-meter run to try to violate one of the ultimate rule of the show. A rule so...
Can you tell us what the rule is? He's probably not going to say what the rule is he?
Whatever the rule is, he's obviously explained the last few moments of her life.
Intense that you guys cannot even ever hear it. That you guys cannot... that I cannot even tell you what the rule is.
Then shut up. Like, if you're like, oh, she violated a rule. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so terrible. I couldn't believe it, but I'm not even going to tell you what it is.
It was so
Fuck
bad.
you,
that
dude.
That he had an angry reaction and took her life, and then had to deal with her body 3 months ago.
Oh.
This is right here, right now. He's admitting to motive.
And it's like... And then I said, Mama JF, you're banned from the show for a couple of weeks because that was actual terrorism.
It was what? What's that word?
Terrarian.
Terrarian?
Terrarium.
Terrarianism?
Yeah.
So having like a gecko in a tank? Because isn't that like a terrarium? It's like an aquarium, but it has like terrain instead of water.
Yeah, it was she was getting anoles.
She was getting moles?
A knoll. An anole.
A vole?
An anole.
A vole?
A-N-O-L-E.
A vole?
It's an annul.
Terrorize me.
She was getting an annulment?
No, it's an annul.
Yeah,
see?
so
this
that
little guy right here?
I can't see it. It's green. It's green. Can't see it.
It's an annul.
You can't see it. It's green.
Everybody knows an annul.
You're in front of a green
reptiles.
screen. We can't see
They're
it.
reptiles.
That was
hey, that
maybe
annul, you're a
weeks
little
before
annul.
she left.
You can't see it.
It's an annul.
I don't
it's a
know
reptile.
that it's directly related, but I think that she was starting to kind of be in a mood of party, and in her party.
Did she bring weed in? Was that it? That's what I was thinking when he was like, oh, it's banned from this show. And she came in. Maybe she had a big fat doobie in her mouth or something. Weed is legal in Canada, everywhere, federally. So she might have brought like a big ass, or maybe that's what I was thinking.
Mood, she had forgotten that there are serious rules in Papa JF's house. So yes, that is basically all I have to say, and this story is so weighing on my mind that I don't think I can. I don't think I can continue the show tonight with news or stuff of a frivolous nature. That this is too much on my mind, and that is why I had to take a break. Also, 2 days ago, it's because, man, just waking up early is something that I had the privilege in my life to attain such a degree of luxury that I can wake up whenever I want, whenever I feel like, all the time.
JF is not a good person. He has twisted beliefs, but he's slightly more respectable than Jared Genesis, who can't even support himself without his parents.
He's more
funding his
respectable in
twisted
some
lifestyle.
ways, but if he turned out he murdered this woman, then he's worse objectively, because Jared has never murdered anyone that we know about. But I will say, like, yeah, he's more successful. He's better educated. He has like a clean environment. He wears clothes. I mean, yeah, but if he actually murdered somebody, he's worse than Jared, objectively, at that point.
But even if he didn't murder somebody, he is over here saying that Mama JF, like, when she could possibly be murdered. He's over here saying, like, this dead bitch is ruining my mornings. I have to wake up early for the FBI. It's pretty fucking bad.
He's blaming it on them.
For 4 or 5 days, I'm back to waking up at 9 a.m. Because...
What a crybaby, by the way.
The feds are...
I get to wake up whenever I want. I wake up when I want, and it's early anyway.
And they knock for a long time, before
I wake up
they
at 9
wake me
a.m.
up.
to get fed. I go and get Wendy's breakfast right outside of the woods.
It's been tiring me because when you change my sleep schedule, where I'm super used to this very long sleep where I'm fully rested, now suddenly you mess up my normal sleep and suddenly I'm more tired. So any information would be appreciated to calm all of these people. And it will have been a short show for tonight, but that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. I can read
You already said too much.
what I wrote today on Twitter. The police in Canada is looking for Mama JF because in true Mama JF fashion, she has left our home in June and has disappeared from the map. I am sure that Mama JF is...
This is the Sturges segment of
fine. I know she has been safe
JF
for at
stream.
least 2 days after I dropped her where she wanted in June. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntarily to go live a life of adventure wherever it would bring her. But since she has electronically disappeared, not connecting to her cell phone or updating me or her family, I ask anyone who would have encountered...
That'd be weird if she was with her family and they just weren't telling him where she was.
Well, no, that could be possible.
Yeah.
He could be the one that called this in to try and get information on her because he's trying to find her because he wants to try and get her back.
She said in that video earlier that she lost her family because of him. So they probably don't like him.
Her to just notify the police so that they can know she is safe. And I ask her if she wants to leave a note to the police, me, or her family to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgarriep@proton.me. And someone was asking, did everyone's girl lose her shit this summer? Mine went full postpartum bunkers in August.
Yeah, he could use
And I
that
said
anonymous link to plant fake information to give to the police to throw them off the case.
That's the cost of female liberty. 50,000 policemen, full-time salary, nationwide searches. We could feed the homeless 1 billion times. just take our society and just allow some degree of control by husbands onto their wives. Just basic control.
Husbands have some degree of control. If you're a good husband, she will listen to you. She will trust you. But it's not her fault you suck at being a husband, you fucking wimp. If you need control to control your wife, you suck at being a husband, you fucking loser.
Some little financial aspects. Some like, no, you won't travel to Peru. And so I'm going to decide for you that you won't travel to Peru. Just allow some form of control of husbands over their wives. And you're not going to get events like the Mama JF craziness here. But if you want that female liberty, Papa JF can provide. And because we are in a liberal society, yeah, I'm going to stand by the ideals of our society. And the ideals of our society first is, I cannot keep a woman against her will. I cannot go against her request. I cannot intimidate her to stay with me. I cannot manipulate her emotionally to be one way or another. And so what are the tools
no matter
I have
how she
left as a man?
develops?
The tools I have left is, all right, I respect your liberty.
He mixes up is and are a lot.
Want to go out there and do your crazy lifestyle? Where do you want me to drop you? I will drop you in the safest way and place I can. But that is all I can do. And that is the cost of liberty. Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and much love. I'm personally very confident that this is a big scare, and I hope that Mama JF understands that she is causing too much scare.
Let's see. I'm wondering if this is just like, what is this? Hold on.
Comfortable enough, and Mama JF has left me with everything that matters in life, what matters most of life. And so what can I do? I cannot hate her. I cannot be frustrated about this. And that's it. So that's why I had to take 3 days total to... I made so much cleaning, so much reinstalling, so much plastering of the walls, construction, renovation. I wanted to set the home in the way I like it. It's like sterilize this home now. I can walk finally. I can access everything. The fridge is super clean.
He didn't bury the fridge. He cleaned it.
Yeah, I was joking about him burying the fridge, but the fridge is super clean. Did he keep her body in the fridge until he could bury it?
Who knows?
Why would he bring up how clean the fridge is unless he was using it to keep her body fresh until he could bury her? He probably cooked and ate her in his super clean fridge.
Oh, shit.
That's not the right pick.
I like this one better.
There's another pick in our Discord.
Yeah, I like this one
Ben
better.
and I carrying her to safety. It's a way better pick.
Oh, shit. This is his whole stream, but I think we watched, like, most of
Over this trip, from what I understood, it looked like she was preparing for life in the wild.
All right. What is this? This guy comments on it. I don't know who he is, but I think he's like one of JF's buddies or something.
JF says, indeed, not by my choice, though. I love life rather relaxed personally. That's absolute delusion, right? JF loves chaos. He thrives on dysfunction. This is his choice. This is the life that he built. I built the life I've got, right? Life I've got right now. I chose it. I built it willingly, unwillingly, wittingly, unwittingly. This life is what I chose. And JF's life is what he chose too, right? I mean, the people that we attract into our life, that we have relationships with, are dramatic reflections of us.
Breaking international.
Thank you, Scuff Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
the microphone sucks, loser.
He sounds like Jordan Peterson. He's got that Canadian cadence.
But we are breaking international
Canadians
of the likes
Canadians
expecting here from JF Gary Epi saying that the police in Canada are looking for Mama JF because in true.
I don't know who's watching here either. This is like a whole new universe.
Left her home in June and has disappeared from the map. I am sure that Mama JF is fine. I know she has been safe for at least 2 days after I dropped her where she wanted in June. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntarily to go.
I like this person who has some kind of accent. I'm not sure which one it is, but he's trying to do JF's accent. It just sounds crazy to me.
The life of adventure, wherever it would bring her. But I can't do the French accent. Super sorry about that.
Yeah, I can tell.
But since she has electronically disappeared,
it's not even a real French accent, by the way. Like, actual French people do not sound like people in Quebec. It's very different, and the way they speak is more the way actual French people spoke hundreds of years ago. Like, the people in France speak a more modern French dialect than the people in Montreal. It's interesting.
Electronically disappear, not connecting to her cell phone or dating me or her family. I ask anyone who would have encountered her to just notify the police so that they can know she is safe. And I ask her if she wants to leave a note to the police, me, or her family to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgarryappy@proton.me. Not making this up. Mama JF's missing. I can add a bit more context to this. Canadian police, I don't know anything about disappearance. I mean, drama.
So can you add context if you don't know anything about it?
Follow up. Somebody asked JF a couple of questions here.
Not really.
Somebody said, you were the last known person to see her since June? And JF says, whoa. No, she hasn't been traveling and leaving an electronic trace far from mine.
I thought he said she stopped leaving electronic trace, though. But then he also said he heard from her and she's like, no, I'm not going to come back and talk to you. I'm doing something else. That was part of it.
She had her phone, but not her credit cards?
So I do not expect to be a suspect in her disappearance.
He shouldn't. I mean, like, did it or not did it, he shouldn't even be talking about this right now.
Yeah, he drops her off at a gas station. He puts the phone in the bed of a truck and lets the truck drive around electronically. They find the truck. They find the phone eventually. Maybe the truck goes to a dump. Who knows? Who knows where that phone went? That could be the electronic trace.
How about he rented a Tesla and programmed it to like drive like circles around the city and then drive like out into the woods?
That would still trace back to him if he rented it, right?
Okay,
this is why I'm a way better murderer than you are, Ben.
Okay, that dude.
I just put the phone in a truck bed.
So it got confirming there. Jeff's confirming. What did somebody say it? You really covered your bases then, huh? So just to be clear, in case of any misconstrued sense that I'm making any allegations, I want to be absolutely clear that JF has not buried Mama JF under the patio, okay? That has not happened, okay? There is absolutely no reason why JF should be a suspect in the disappearance of Mama JF.
Days after she leaves, he uses the word sterilized to talk about how he cleaned his house and he remodeled the walls days after she leaves? Why would you remodel walls?
I don't know, but honestly, I know where this is going, and if he like buried her in the wall, it would start to stink to high heaven. It already would.
No, I didn't say he buried her in the walls. I said he redid the walls to get rid of any blood splatter.
So, he like repainted them? Is that what you're saying?
He redid the walls.
Because it would still show.
Not if he redid the walls. Like if he took the walls down and rebuilt the walls.
I don't rebuilt the whole wall.
Drywall. Put more drywall up. Yeah, it's simple. You take down the old drywall, you put up new drywall.
That's not sterilizing.
Well, the other stuff that couldn't be removed got sterilized. He said sterilized. He said he redid the walls. He said he replastered the walls.
Did he say plastered or redid?
Yeah.
He said replastered the walls.
Well, I don't know word for word what he said. The chat says he said plastered.
Well, okay. So plastered is saying something very specific. Saying he did the walls is very vague. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I was being vague because I couldn't remember the exact words. What he said was not vague.
Okay.
He said he renovated.
I don't
He redid
remember the
walls.
words either, so I was asking what he actually
Hope we
said.
got that clear. Now, just for the little bit of context then I promised you I'd give you, is if you've not been following up on the JF, Mama JF lore and history, well, I won't give you the full backstory. You have to know who JF and Mama JF is. He's a Canadian YouTuber. Started one of the early guys on the alt-right, basically. Now, Mama JF is an interesting character, but she did leave him a little while ago, publicly, and
yeah, we covered it when he was like, Mama JF has left. I remember he did this whole like butthurt stream. And then she came back and we were all like very surprised. And then they did a Christmas video this past Christmas, another annual JF, Mama JF Christmas cooking video that we watched. Dude,
DJ Trump says sterilized, replastered, construction, and cleaned the fridge.
I want to ask that everyone right now who's watching who hasn't already liked the stream to please like it. If we do it enough, we could probably push it over to over 400 viewers. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And then I can't believe I'm about to say this, but YouTube forces me to click the bell and put it on all notifications. You know, back in the day when I first started doing this shit, all you had to do was click subscribe. And that was all you needed to do. They added 2 more steps because the first one wasn't good enough. Now you need to do 3 steps to just subscribe to a motherfucker on this site. It's stupid.
Expose false copyright claimers says he could be very controlling and reported her missing to find her. We did discuss this earlier. That is very much a possibility. Very much a possibility. Maybe. You know, he's the type of guy that is controlling. He's literally admitted to it multiple times on that most recent stream.
There we go. See,
this could be his motive.
Now we're at 396. See how it works? You like the stream, we get more people in here. Thank you, everyone. If you just got here, please like the stream.
Widely reported by JF himself when the very immediate next day he did a contest for a new wife and invited applications from his viewers to become his new Mama JF. Now, despite receiving many requests from adoring fangirls around the world wishing to become the new Mama JF, fly out to Canada and become the new breeding partner for JF to inseminate.
I kind of think the DP years, that was where he was like pulling in the ladies because he was portrayed as JF. This
JF has not been smart in his handling of this, but I guess that's not surprising.
He probably doesn't have a lawyer.
He is not good at relationships or how he represents them on the internet.
Nope.
His attitude toward women is awful.
So
He's
JF,
dumb.
In the early days of DP, JF was a patron of Drunken Peasants, and he was $100 patron, which means once a month we'd bring him on as a guest, and we were like, oh, here's a patron of the show, JF. He's a scientist, because he technically is. You know, like, and he has a PhD and everything, and he could debate atheism from like a scientific standpoint, and it was cool. We didn't know about him being a white nationalist until after the prior hosts of DP left the show, and he stopped being on. Well, no, he had been we had him on a couple times after that, but we were like, JF, we didn't know this about you. Can you explain to us like what this is all about? And he tried to do it, and his attitude had already changed too. You can go back and look at like the times we had him on. He was like, oh, I'm taking over YouTube. I'm going to take over and destroy all the other streamers on YouTube. He said something like that. Something like very ambitious.
His words, not mine. That's what he was looking for. He was looking for a lady ready for insemination. Despite this, all those searches and the contest for a new Mama JF fell through, and what happened was Mama JF returned to the home that we don't know, because JF is pretty private about what goes on about his relationship with Mama JF and stuff. He's very private. He always avoids questions about particularities to do with, for instance, I'll just say it, whether they have any children. Now, this is on the back of...
Yeah, that's another thing that no one really knows for sure is if they actually have children. If they do, they like have never put them on camera, which, I mean, like we've known, like someone like Onision has kids and he never put them on camera. Someone who tried to turn everything into content, Onision of all people, never put his own kids on. So that's saying a lot. But yeah, so that maybe Jeff did have kids with Mama JF. I don't know, but I don't think they, like, just in my gut, I don't think so, but they could. Because they were together for a long time.
He's got other kids, though, right?
Yeah, but they don't live with him. His other kids are American citizens. They were born in the U.S. His first wife, he even said his first wife was he said black like Obama, so like probably like half black, half white.
She was gay?
And he had kids, but he's not in custody of those kids. Those kids live in the States.
No, says Onision also let his kid fall out of a window. So
yeah,
I guess
I'm not
never
defending
listened to
that.
an Eric Clapton song. No. What the fuck?
Well, that kid fell out of a really tall building. Eric
Yeah,
Clapton's
shit
kid.
happens. Fucking unforgivable stuff. Holy crap. It happens.
Yeah. What we're saying doesn't excuse the window falling incident, but it's just saying like Onision was someone who was known to make like anything in his personal life into content. But when he had a kid, he could have easily turned his kid into content and gotten views off of it, and he didn't. So that speaks to something.
Is the importance of having children. And so in order to do this talking about having children, it's pretty hard to hide the fact as to whether you're currently parenting. And so for a long time doing his show, he's spoken as if he was currently parenting, not just being an absent father, for instance, paying by his own will or non-will and paying like support to another mother, which I think we do know exists somewhere else from a previous marriage or relationship, as well as anything else. But so Jeff talks about the importance of procreating and having babies.
Yes, Professor Dutch, it speaks to something. It speaks to a point that someone who's willing to monetize everything, even things that aren't flattering to themselves, will still kind of like want to leave their kids out of it. But we've seen the flip side of that too, like the Daddy of Five stuff that blew up, where like parents were like abusing their kids for content. So I'm sorry you're so offended, Professor Dutch. Man, this old guy, Professor Dutch, he's so mad at me, Billy. He was here the other night. I think it was me and Jeff. Oh, yeah, it was when we were talking about the quartering. I think he's a big quartering fan. But he's like a 70-year-old guy, former firefighter. He likes to do casino videos where he plays slot machines.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Dutch. You're a cutie, sweetheart.
And doing this, he would often speak as if it was something he was currently doing. And then when Mama JF left, this time that I just told you about, when they had JF had the contest for a new wife, there was some real weird moment where he said, "She has left me, however, she has left me with a very special present." And the inference basically was and was taken by many in the audience to be a baby. That somehow, without any of the viewers really noticing, somehow Mama JF at some point had a baby with JF and effectively had left the baby in the home there with JF. Now, also, during this period of time while she was gone,
Here's the problem with that. Mama JF was on, I don't believe, aside from the point where she like broke up with him, we've never seen pregnant Mama JF, and she was on the streams very regularly. So they would have had to be very strategic with hiding that. But on the flip side, I've seen JF claim to have had a kid in the works, and it was implied without, he's very vague about everything he says. My thing is, I think maybe there's something where they couldn't have a kid and he just didn't want to admit it. So they're like pretending this kid exists. I don't know though, But there was never rock hard evidence that they ever actually had a kid. I never saw her look remotely pregnant. I never saw an actual kid. So I don't know if they have it. I don't know if they have one. It might be full of shit. He's supposed to be this big man that goes out, like he goes out. Yeah, sure, that's your dad, loser. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about this. It's hurting my brain. Professor Dutch hurt my brain. I'm wrecked now. I'm retiring now, Billy. Are you muted? Oh, it's the mic thing. You're muted still. Yeah, you need a new mic cable.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out. I don't know how to do that. But I got recommended a video of Paul today from like 8 years ago where he was on his knees in a garage and he was being attacked by Mosif Jartelli. I was like, holy shit.
Mosif Jartelli, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cute video. I was like, we should do videos
when he had
of
the
us
ball
being
gag.
attacked.
He had the ball gag in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph Martelli was coming to he was coming to like our meetup to be a tough guy, but then when he showed up, he was just chased down the street. So I want to point out one thing to Professor Dutch. I don't believe you've been watching since the old days. He claims the old guy in his videos is his dad, and he's been watching since way back in the day. But then I saw him in the last episode where he was around when we were talking about the quartering, and he was like, have you ever had a real job, Ben? And if you've watched the show for any length, I've had many real jobs. Many, many, many degrading, embarrassing real jobs. Multiple ones. A
Was
dozen
it last
of them.
episode or was Saturday's episode where you talked about like 5 of them?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 42 years old. I've had I haven't gone very long without being employed since I graduated from high school. Yes, I used to make adult diapers. I used to work at a call center. I used to work at a library. I used to work as a caddy at a golf course. I was
a meat wrapper?
I was a meat wrapper at a Kroger. I worked at I was a janitor at a Toys R Us. Oh God. I worked as a donation attendant at a Goodwill. Wendy's.
You were a sexy librarian for a while?
I mentioned the librarian thing. God, what was the other thing I did? I mentioned it the other day and you're like, oh, you never brought up this one.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to sit down and like write them down in chronological order.
Yeah.
There were a couple of instances where doing Jeff's show, he would also say to corroborate this line of thinking, this evidence that there was a baby that he was now caring for alone, at least one. He would say like there was suddenly many more family commitments. Bearing in mind, this would otherwise be an empty house apart from Jeff. He was talking about suddenly many more family commitments, that Mama Jeff was no longer there, etc. But also, there was a couple of occasions, at least a couple, that I noticed myself where, in this period of time where Mama Jeff disappeared, there was a sound of a baby crying that could be heard on the show, and all of a sudden Jeff would go, I have to go for a moment, and suddenly...
Oh, you know what? I was a cashier at Sam's Club, too, at one point.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's better than working at Walmart, right?
It is Walmart, though. Like, it's
better than Walmart.
It's better, but it's still, like, I felt dirty because I was working for Walmart, you know?
You were under the Waltons
I would have rather
buck.
worked at Costco instead.
Costco's a better job, too.
Yeah, the store is similar, but yes, the job and, like, the way they treat their employees is better. For sure.
Yeah. Plus, at Costco, you can go get a $1.50 hot dog and a drink.
I worked at the Toledo, Ohio Zoo, in like one of the restaurants there. I was like the guy who swept the floor and like cleaned off the tables and that and took the garbage out to like the garbage bin.
How often were you ever around animals at the zoo?
Well, the cool thing is like if you work there, you get in for free like whenever you want to come. So, and I lived in the zoo neighborhood. Like, I grew up in the neighborhood that the zoo was there.
My heart broke when you said neighborhood. I thought you were going to say you lived in the zoo. I was like, holy shit.
I lived
awesome.
like 4 blocks from the zoo.
That's pretty good too. But I wanted to know that you had like a little, like a janitor's office in the zoo that you lived in. The Quebecois accent is closer to the Louis XIV era because it's from the time that the French colonization happened and the people in Nouvelle France were isolated, fixing the accent.
Yes.
I'm Quebecois.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. The accent sounds antiquated to modern speakers of French in France. It's the same thing in New Mexico. Spanish speakers in New Mexico sound like Don Quixote to like modern Spanish speakers because that area is like a mountainous region where people just kind of lived isolated, and it was part of it was part of New Spain first, then it was part of Mexico, and then it was annexed by the US, and the people that live there never noticed the difference really. Like, and you can still go up into these villages up into the mountains in northern New Mexico, and there's like a whole town that speaks nothing but Spanish there, and the only people that don't are tourists there. I'm trying to think of other jobs. I know there's other jobs that I'm like, I've done 2 different call centers.
Mute and turn the camera black, and then come back and go, everything is fine, everybody. It did just a moment. I had to.
I've only had like 3 jobs in my entire life.
So,
and I've never worked a job that I didn't work with a friend.
I even
always had a friend as a coworker.
Mama JF has had the baby or stolen it, but there was a baby involved, at least.
Mama JF. He says Mama JF might have stolen the baby.
June, I believe it was.
I never worked at Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant, no.
Of this year. So now June, July, August, September.
What's that Mexican restaurant in Colorado that the South Park guys
Casa
just
Bonita.
Bought? Fuck, we got to get jobs there, Ben.
Fuck no.
Where in October, about 4 months ago, I kind of went around when I just stopped streaming, because I was going to stream about it, I remember. Mama JF has since left JF again. She's gone. She's gone. She's done a flit in the night. And I noticed this because somebody, if I can find it for you, if I had prepared, I'd have the tweet to show you. But it was somewhere in June the 7th or something like that. Somebody had said to JF, where's Mama JF?
Mr. Morton says, Billy, you did food delivery or something, didn't you? Were your friends with the French fries?
That's a different...
That's not a job, though. That's a gig.
Yeah, like, that's like...
I've done side work.
You're an independent contractor when you do that.
Yeah.
Like
I've done that, but as far as jobs go, I did deliver at Domino's Pizza as a job.
That's
and
a job.
My friend was a manager there.
Because you're an actual employee.
Yeah.
Replied, she had.
I got my first job when I was 14.
My first job was working at the library. I worked at like a local branch of the library, and my job was to like sort the books. Like when people would return the books, I'd have to like use the Dewey fucking Decimal System to like fit them in order on the shelf. And there was constantly just giant loads of books coming in every day. You were never truly done. You were always just catching up there. It was insane.
Again. And then since he's talked about it on the show that Mama Jeff is no longer around. And then a few months.
Okay, here's a video of JF Gotta Pee.
Personal that I'm forced to talk about at this point. It's I've been wanting to keep it relatively calmer and less public, but I've been forced by the
public space,
by the various events, because people have discovered about it, and so I might as well talk about it instead of letting rumors develop and all of the messy information that can stem from it.
Hey, there's Jenny Simon in JF chat. Jenny Simon says JF took like $50,000 from Jeffrey Epstein to start his YouTube channel. He said it on camera. That video was going around for a while.
Yeah, and he did say it. I think he was lying, but maybe it's true. But I don't understand why a Jewish guy would want to fund an anti-Semitic white nationalist to make YouTube videos. I don't understand.
Unless it was controlled opposition, you fund a fucking idiot to say
then we
idiot
can
things.
do anything that doesn't make sense and just say it was just controlled opposition. I just think that's.
I'm just giving a reason why he would give it to him.
Well, it just doesn't make. It still doesn't make sense. I want a real reason and not like a buzzword that like
people do send money to.
People do
idiots
anything. I want
to
a
give
real
idiots a
reason why
platform to make
Jeffrey
the other
Epstein
side look like idiots.
I want to talk about not people, but Jeffrey Epstein specifically. Why would he do that?
Maybe he.
Why
was
would he
funded
fund
by
an
intelligence
anti-Semitic
agency.
white nationalist?
We do know that his cohort, Ghislaine Maxwell, was the daughter of a gentleman who notoriously worked with the intelligence agencies and may have been murdered on a boat by
What does that
Mossad.
have to do with funding JF?
He could be.
It doesn't. The answer is it doesn't. The answer is it doesn't. The answer is it doesn't.
He says stupid things.
It has nothing to do with any of it. Like, you can control opposition, but you're not controlling JF by just randomly giving him $50,000.
If you see an idiot on the other side, you give them $50,000 to boost their voice so the other side looks like idiots.
No. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think he was lying to make himself sound. I think I know. Like I know JF better than most people here, like present right now, and I think JF wants people to think he's really cool, but he's also socially illiterate, so he'll say things to sound cool, thinking it'll make him sound cool, when it just makes him look bad. Like someone.
That's a fair assumption.
Yeah. I think he thought he could tell that to Richard Spencer, and Richard Spencer would laugh at it, because that's where it came out. The clip is him telling that to Richard Spencer, but Richard Spencer did not react to it the way he had expected he would, and he kind of dialed back on it at that point. I don't believe it's true. I mean, it could be, but I think that's him trying to sound cool. Like how he was like, I have Bitcoins. I heard him say that before. Motherfucker, how many Bitcoins you really got? You don't really got anything.
Well, in 2016, Bitcoins were like $250. He might have had some back then. I got 0.01 Bitcoins, and I still have more Bitcoins than I got bitches.
So,
Alec John says, can you actually do a bit more research first? Oh, hell no. We watch videos and we give our opinion on them live.
I don't know
None
what they
of this
mean.
has fact based on it. None of this has fact. It'd be a lot cooler if it did.
Someone said this was like 10 years ago. There's no way it was 10 years ago. So you're not doing research, because 10 years ago, JF wasn't even a blip on the radar. Are you talking about like 6 years ago? Like
a lot of times people...
nearly half the time? I don't care what a lot of times people do. A lot of times people do the dumbest shit ever. I don't care.
People will say 10 years when they mean 6 to 7 years.
6 years is nearly half the time of 10 years.
Yes, people don't understand time very well.
Well,
They
they're
don't
dumb,
convey
and
it
I'm
very well
going to
either.
dismiss all the other shit they say then.
That's dumb. You can't throw the
Someone
baby
said
out with the
JF came
bathwater.
around with Trump, and blood sports didn't start until 2018. It wasn't 2016. It was 2018.
Yeah, 2016 is when he was coming around Drunken Peasants podcast. And that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yes, I remember the whole timeline very well.
Bryant asks a good question. You mean 20 years, Ben?
Yes, JF was in Andy Worski with Worski Live. Worski Live existed in 2018. That's when it started.
I met Worski in 2017, and he still had Chris Worski with him.
Yep.
He still had the second Worski in 2017. Bloodsports was shortly after that, which was close to a half a century ago, by the way. Ben.
Yeah. We're going to do a thing in a couple minutes here.
Ben, I got some good news, Ben.
What?
I went to the doctor today for my heart.
And JF murdered you?
No, that's not the good news, Ben.
Oh.
The good news is my heart is not as large as it was 3 months ago.
Does that mean you're going to steal Christmas?
I think the heart got bigger. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
It got bigger after he stopped wanting to steal Christmas.
This means I could live till Christmas, Ben.
Oh.
My heart is pumping at 27% capacity.
Damn. Moving up in the world.
I was at mere 17% in July. Now I'm at 27%.
That's good to hear.
I cannot go back on keto, Hank Chill. I cannot drink more than 2 liters of liquid a day. I cannot have more than 2,100 milligrams of sodium a day. I had 17% in Eric July. Yeah. Now I'm at big time 27%, baby. Woo! The heart is getting better. And it's probably because I feel the love from all of the Drunken Peasants fans. Thank you guys for saving my life. Can I even eat Chipotle? Yeah. I can have tacos. The corn taco shells are pretty low sodium. And I could put a little bit of bullshit in them.
So this show's going to end in a couple minutes here. We are going to do our post show, which we do exclusively for our Patreons. All of them $10 and above get to see the post show. And I would like you, the people here, to vote on what you would like us to cover. And I'll put up the poll right now. We're going to watch one of these 3 videos, depending on how the vote goes. We're going to either watch Sturges cry about the new Castlevania game, or The Undertaker and Mick Foley react to their Hell in a Cell match, or the pilot of That 80s Show, which was a failed spin-off of That 70s Show that they tried to do in like the early 2000s. That was terrible. Which one would you like us to watch? And anyone can vote.
The Delirium Red was delicious. I also got a couple bottles of Cherry Chouf. The ones with the little gnomes.
Yep, I love those.
We share love for the Belgian
La
strong
Chouf.
ales.
Love them all. They're my favorites.
Cheers.
Yeah, Delirium Red.
Alec Johns wants his 2 hours back. Well, you know where to find them, Alec Johns.
Alec
in the
Jones?
grave. In the grave next to Mama JF, Alec Johns. Those 2 hours are dead, boy.
Which 2 hours? Like, did they spend 2 hours on the toilet?
I think they were watching this podcast they think is a waste of their time.
Oh,
But that
why
being said,
read their comment?
Just to tell them that their 2 hours are dead.
Oh.
You not remember that part of the cool comment?
Was
where I
that
shut
cool?
them down? Where I made them look like buffoons, Ben? I was pointing out their buffoonery.
Buffoon.
One in the chat for all the people who wasted their last 2 hours of their life with us here at Drunken Peasant Podcast. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Actual news DP has history with happening right now. Exactly.
Yeah,
Mama
I was
Jam,
gonna
dude.
watch a bunch of this other stuff, but it's like I can't, I don't have enough time to fit all the other stuff I wanted to put in here. I'm gonna have to save that for Saturday's show. We do another show on Saturday.
Alec John says go less than 27% again. But that would be bad for me, Alec. I could die. I have to get my heart back up to like at least 55%. Alec Johns, I don't think I'm going to take your advice.
There we go. We got one $10 patron.
Schleifmeister coming through on the $10 Patreon. $10 and above. Come watch with us tonight.
Yeah, we'll give you guys a moment to vote, and we'll announce the winner and then we'll go live over there. But I want to give everyone a minute to sign up. I'm actually going to link everybody here. And we offer extra content, and you can suggest to us which content you want us to watch. Shit, I'm trying to like talk and do something at the same time. It's not working. All right, here it is right here. If you wanna see the show tonight, you can go directly there and sign up at the $10 level, and you'll get the link right there to come along.
Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. I dropped my phone in the sink tonight. I keep checking my phone.
Was there water in it?
I was running.
Oh.
I keep checking my phone because it says the USB port has moisture in it, and I'm waiting for that fucking message to go away.
It
you
might
can't
not.
charge it until it goes away. It does. It goes away after a while. It's happened to me a couple of times in the rain. So, knock on fucking wood. It's just about to go away.
Oh, Sturgis is winning, by the way. Again, the choices
that
are
fucking sucks.
The choices are Sturgis crying about the new Castlevania game, The Undertaker and Mick Foley react to their Hell in a Cell match, or the pilot of That 80s Show. We're giving you 3 things that have nothing to do with one another. Oh, we got another Patreon. Thank you for signing up.
You took 2 things that I might want to watch, and they're losing to Sturgis, the one thing I don't want to watch. Well, this should be an interesting
If you want to torture the shit out of Billy the Fridge, vote for Sturgis and sign up for Patreon. There's another one.
Vote for Undertaker.
Holy shit! There's a biggin right there. There's a big fat biggin right there.
Big thick Betty. That's a $15 patron for 1 year by Jocular Jellyfish.
Me and Jeff Holiday are about to film some cool shit in a few here. Wow, Anthony. Yeah, get your votes in. We'll give you guys another like 5 minutes. I think I'm going to run to the toilet real quick here. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Big Face Billy. Ask your questions. Get your answers. Wipe your ass with toilet paper. That's if Ben's still listening. He's got to go potty. Okay. What's going on, kids? Tell me. How we been? How's today? How's tomorrow? Are we worried about Mama JF? I would say I'm not worried about her. But I can't save her. But Bridget says, Billy, why are you so damn adorable? Well, I have a stunted adulthood. I think around 8-9 years old, I started eating a bunch of cakes and pies to deal with inner emotional issues. And from that point on, I decided I was going to try and make everybody like me through humor. And my body somehow made me so stinking cute. And I've been able to ride that cuteness mixed with the humor to be adorable well into my 40s. I'm 40 now. Holy shit. Space Girl number 5 says, Billy, how are you able to stay so sweet? I'll tell you how. I'm constantly trolling sour people. Sour people can't handle the sweetness, so I'm driven by the sweet to flush out the sour. That's the sweet and sour. Status of the horror film I participated in? I know, Space Burrito. I want to know, too. I keep checking. The director's done a couple of music videos since then, and he's started a new channel talking about Christianity and the like deep theory in Christianity. Like, it's kind of interesting stuff. It's not like preaching, but it's like reading into it. So I don't know. He hasn't said anything about the fucking movie recently, and I'm keep an eye on it. I want to know. Intersexual tissues? how I blow my loads and I blow my nose with intersexual tissues. Seth looks says, I missed most of the show because my power only now just came back. I listened to the audio only show like everyone should be doing to help supplement the show. The audio only show available on all your favorite podcast platforms. Got any Halloween plans, Billy? 0. I have 0 Halloween plans. I'll probably hide in my basement so I don't have to give candy to the little kids. Ass Rapist Dude 1488 says, hey, Billy. Hey, Ass Rapist Dude 1488. Anybody ever tell you your name might be a little offensive to some? Representative Necromancer says, Billy, isn't it sad when your friends turn into Christian instead of finishing horror movies you're supposed to star in? It's not that sad. I assume the movie's held up with some sort of production, distribution issues. I assume. Marcus Trinius says, Billy, have you seen Big Billy the Cat? Would you do a collab with him? Possibly. Your mom says, Billy, you ever grown a mustache or a beard before? I have not. I get facial stubble and it sucks. I hate it. I hate the facial stubble. Majorly Awesome says, hi, Billy. I almost exploded my knee in the gym today. Well, that sucks. I have physical therapy tomorrow. I'm doing such low impact stuff at physical therapy. That's how bad my back is from the car accident I was in 10 months ago. DJ Trump says, Billy, did JF kill Mama JF? Yes or no only? Yes. Have Egghead says, hey, Billy, what movies are you going to watch this month? I'm not quite sure, actually. Hey, Brian Chan coming through with a dono. Got us to 408. Appreciate you. Go to Andy Dick's party, the former Jackson family mansion. What? I want to go. Anybody watching right now that wants to vote for Undertaker? It makes Sturgis lose. I would appreciate it greatly. I'm trying to think of what movies come out. I know there's a few that I'm really excited for. I want to see the Holdovers, the Alexander Payne film with pig vomit in it. Why I can't remember his name right now, I don't know. I don't think I'll go see Godzilla -1, but maybe I will. I did not see Saw X. I don't really have Saw X plans. I will see Five Nights at Freddy. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go see it with my nephew, unless he sees it before me. I did see the movie Creator. I watched it the other day. It was decent.
It was
Creator
about Kalo.
was a decent movie. No, it was done by the guy who did Rogue One. It was just like a sci-fi movie about AI.
The Creator. It's the Creator. I love that story. With Joe talking to him on the phone.
Fucking weird.
Joe had an argument with Kalo's alter ego. It looks like we're doing Sturges.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon. That's something I want to see.
All right, guys. We're going to...
Freelance with John Cena. Looks really good. There's a couple of John Cena movies coming out that look really good. Freelance looks good. And then the other one, I think it was it's like a book writer. All her things come true. And like the CIA comes after her because she's predicting like espionage shit. Looks like it's pretty good. Can't remember the name of that motherfucker, but it's good. Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. That's going to be good. I want to see that.
Everyone, just a reminder here. I just ended the poll. We are going to do the post show if you want to sign up. I had the link in the description. I'm going to post it one last time before we get out of here. I'm going to pin it right there.
And I do want to also say Britney Spears movie Crossroads is getting re-released 20th anniversary October 23rd. One time only fan event. Ladies and gentlemen, go see Crossroads in theaters like I did 20 years ago.
Everyone, please check out the link right there. I just pinned it in the description. In a couple minutes, we're going to go do that over there. Become a $10 or more patron to catch us there. We're going to react to Sturgis. He's upset about the new Castlevania. I bet you can guess why. And we're going to go do that in just a moment. Please like the stream. And fuck. I'm going to have a sip of water here. I'm giving someone. Mama JF is partying. She's partying in the woods with all of her buddies.
I just wish they could have Wendy's. Poor Mama JF and their wood friends being starved of Baconators.
Like it, damn it. Egghead just showed up at the end of the show. What's your problem?
My guy Egghead just showing up.
That's just your opinion, bud.
Oh, the Britney Spears video with a knife. We probably could have watched that on the show. It was quality content.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But she had copyrighted music in it, right?
Yeah. I saw like a TikTok duo type thing where someone wore the Scream killer outfit and danced with the knife too, like in unison with her. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's knife dance. Like everybody's tripping about her dancing with knives.
Whatever.
Like let the girl dance.
She's
a
knives.
top-tier dancer.
Like just because she dances with a knife doesn't mean she's more likely to do anything weird with it than when she just like has a knife in her, like around her.
She's been dancing her entire life at a high fucking level. Like let her fucking knife around a little bit.
Just knifing around.
Just knifing around.
All right, we are going to do this. You guys should follow us there. Sign up. There's always stragglers. You should just sign up now and get it over with. We're going there right now. See everyone in the post show. Good night.
In the post show.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.